Hey.
So with it, bro.
What's up, man?
Been alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
My dad is 75, so he was born in 39. My mom was born in 49. Funny thing is, he remembers her growing up. It's crazy. She was Mexican, he was black, but back in the day, everybody stayed all in one damn side. So eventually they met, and I was made many years later. I really didn't know my grandparents because my grandfather was racist, so he didn't want me in the first place. Funny thing is, I was born on his birthday. Imagine that bullshit. But so I grew up not liking Mexicans. I'm cool, I ain't gonna lie. I grew up like that, but I ended up, at the same time being raised by him, so I had the love and everything that came from it, so they made up for him. But anyway, fuck him. My dad's family, I didn't really get to meet them since he was so old when he had me. My grandparents were dead, and by that time the 80s had hit, and crack came. And everybody knows how that story goes. Everybody that I got in my fucking family is a crackhead. So you're baptized with hate from the get-go, you know what I'm saying? When your dad and your grandfather, I hate to call him that, my mom's dad, bump heads, you know what I'm saying? I mean, before you're even born, and you know that there's a situation brewing there that if this man ever comes over here, your father's likely to go back to prison or something, you know? So it's hard to talk about that shit because I hate that dude. I don't like talking about it, but money, it very, yeah. It makes a big ass difference, man. Cause when you're poor, there ain't no real help out the ghetto. When you living down here flicking roaches off your fucking plate, and you go to other people's houses. When I used to go to your house, I used to just be like, it's a big ass house. Y'all had a 3-bedroom. That was unfathomable to me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even imagine having a 3-bedroom house. You know what I'm saying? My own fucking room and shit like that. Nah. I couldn't imagine that. So when you get to a certain age, no matter how smart you are, because, I was grade A, aces all the way until it hit me, college ain't gonna mean shit if you ain't got no money. I tried it, it didn't work, and it made sense, yeah. I ended up going the only route I knew that I was taught growing up, and that was the streets. Hell, what you gonna do? You gonna swim or you gonna sink? Shit, I swam. Right on into the motherfucking penitentiary. But it was only a little short stay. Taught me a lot, but I don't think I changed nothing. My dad and my mom, of course, always stayed on me. Do not go over there with the Cobras. Don't you go over there. Don't you get wrapped up in it. Don't get caught up in all that. And my daddy used to just pull me to the side and say, you know what? You don't need no gang. You don't need no gang. That's your family. You don't need to join no gang. You stay out of all that. That stuff you don't got nothing to do with. And that's why I was raised, and my daddy, everything my daddy told me, man, it really stuck with me. My mama did too, you know what I'm saying, because I knew she cared, but my daddy, he told me in a way that, it reflected. You know what I'm saying? He made sense of everything when he knew I was confused about how things were going. Yeah, man, we used to listen to Mexican music all day, Johnny Ozuna and all types of people, man, when I was little. I used to ride in the car with her, so I listened to her music. I'd be listening to Mexican music on this car and get in this car, and we'd be listening to blues and Al Green and stuff, ZZ Hill. I don't know if y'all know anything about that. But yeah. Oh yeah, there was definitely racism all through the family. I mean, come on. If your father is like that, you're automatically taught that. That's why my mother and my aunt, there's only 2 that had babies by black men. And those 2 were shunned for the longest until we ended up being probably the most successful. There's probably only maybe 1 or 2 other people that are doing better than a couple of us. I'm not gonna say all of us that are black are doing great. You know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But neither all the Mexicans or the white dudes, neither. So that's the better thing for me, because I feel better about myself, because I remember when our birthdays hit, sometimes the people wouldn't come to my birthday party because they went to the granddad's. The kids, they would take the kids over there instead of taking the kids with me, you know what I'm saying? Or I would have to wait till like the 12th or some shit to have my birthday because of this motherfucker. I'm telling you, it was real weird, but...
How did you feel, man? Did that affect you a lot?
Hell yeah, can't you see? I don't like fucking... I get real hateful. I get real hateful about that. It's like I'm a kid, you know? And this started back when my cousins were kids, and they're 12 years older than me, you know what I'm saying? They had to go through the worst part of it when that man was young enough to actually try to pose a threat. You know, and you have to hear your dad saying, I'm fixing to kill him. And your mom's crying, and you know, and then you grow up and you see the man and you got to get out the house and you got to go home. Just because he popped up out of the blue. He didn't schedule an appointment, you know, but just because he comes over to my aunt's house, we have to hide and get behind the couch and shit like that. And this is coming from, you know what I'm saying, the aunts and stuff like that. And one day I was probably about like 9, and I just said, you know what, fuck that. And I stood up, he looked, and I walked out. I just looked at him. And ever since then, I never liked going over certain aunts' houses because he would pop up. And that's what kind of made me distant from a lot of my family. And that's what made me closer to the black side, because you have to have some kind of family. And all on damn bars and going up and down the street, everything was bad legally anyway, or into the white world perspective, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, these guys are selling drugs, doing drugs. Some people are just running businesses, but I was down in amongst all of it, and it taught me a lot. And people might say that's bad parenting. It's like, shit, what do you do when your mom has to go take care of her mom because she's got breast cancer, but you can't go with her because you're black? You gotta stay with your dad. Sooner or later, your dad's gonna need some free time. He's taking care of 2 kids. He's got a teenager and a little baby. You know, he's trying to work 2 different angles here, and he's trying to keep up with his daughter. And on the weekends, how can you keep up with your daughter when you got a baby and your wife's gone? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a fucked up situation, but I feel my mama is her mama. You want to be there for your mama like that. You know, she wasn't prejudiced, and that was the hard thing. My grandmother wasn't. She snuck out the hospital like maybe a week before she died to see me and the other black kids at Dollar General. I still got the little bullshit car she bought me right now. That was the only time I got to meet her. She died a week later. I was 5. Because America's gonna become like me. You're looking at America. You're looking at America. You can guarantee that in 20 years, almost everybody's gonna have a piece of something in their family. I bet it's everybody in this room right now got a mixed breed baby somewhere in their family, real close, you know, real close. So yeah, you might as well invest in it because you're looking at the future.
All right, so go ahead and tell me your name, your full name.
Bobby Ray Oliver II.
All right, thank you, Bobby.
Appreciate it, brother. No problem.